So today we're back in the forest and we're going to look at an aspect of gua sha. So I'm on a trail higher up. Over there is Barcelona. And we're continuing up. So let's talk a little bit about things that people think you shouldn't do with gua sha, but in fact you should. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel, and you're going to watch more videos of me walking around in the forest talking about gua sha. Number one, tattoos. I don't know if you have a tattoo, how you feel about tattoos, but loads of people have got them. And when people do gua sha, often what happens is that they'll scrape in the whole area around a tattoo and not on it, no matter where it is. Now this is kind of strange. Do you know why? Because if there's one place that sha might appear, it's going to be somewhere around a tattoo. Why? Because that is often an area of blockage, partly because the tattoo is the actual thing that's creating the blockage on a very superficial level, but also the fact that there's a theory. It's not my theory, but it's someone I know very well, and the theory is that when you decide to have a tattoo, you subconsciously decide to put it in a place which needs reassurance on support, and perhaps there's an old injury there, perhaps there's something emotional, or perhaps there's some tenderness, some kind of history of something, and that's why people put a tattoo in that place. And it's not a conscious decision, and people wouldn't even know that was a thing. So there's that theory as well, and sometimes that theory is kind of right, but not always, of course. So if you come across a tattoo, scrape, well, of course, if it's not a new tattoos don't scrape on them until, of course, it's safe to do so. But when you come across someone who has tattoos and it's in the area that you want to use gua sha on, scrape over the tattoo and have a look and see where sha comes out, and it's always very interesting. Okay, number two. How about the spine? Now, if someone has problems in the spine, then of course don't treat the spine. By treating the spine, I mean going down the bony part of your back, down the midline. If there's any structural problem in the spine, then no, avoid it. Always play safe. But providing that the person is not too frail, weak, and basically not enough connective tissue around the spine to be comfortable, then of course don't do it. But if not, if it's a fairly average back that most people have got enough connective tissue in that area, then scrape down the spine, especially in the gaps between the spinous processes, because that's the place that sha comes out. So of course you don't go very hard, but enough to create sha. Number three, people sometimes think that sha has to come out in order for there to be some therapeutic result, but that's not the case. There's a lot to be said for increasing the microcirculation of the connective tissue under the skin, because I'm going to fall over. Okay, because, hang on, this is a bit tough now. Because if you can increase the microcirculation in the connective tissue under the skin, that's the area that we want to affect with gua sha. And when Sha comes to the surface, that means something. That means there's a particular type of obstruction which is in the connective tissue. But if it doesn't come to the surface, then that means that the obstruction isn't in that place, probably somewhere else. But the benefit of the friction movement over the skin is to increase the blood circulation, which is normally very beneficial. Okay, number 4. You must have a certain type of tool. Now, you can use any tool. I mean, I can even look around here and pick up any one of these stones, as long as it's got a round edge and it's appropriate for the size of my hand, and it's not going to do any damage on the skin. And I can get the same results as any of the tools you can buy from anywhere with any type of material, because it's not the tool that makes the changes, it's the technique, it's how you behave with the tool, it's what you know about the tool, it's what you know about the body and how the body works and the choices you make. That's the thing that really counts. Okay, number 5. So some people think that you have to scrape in a certain direction according to the movement of blood, and certainly towards the heart, so you can promote the venous return. But that's not backed up by research. And in terms of Chinese medicine, which of course guasha is part of, it doesn't make a great deal of sense, because if you're going to go in particular directions, you go in the direction of the channels. These channels all have directions, and you follow those, because to affect the blood circulation system directly with a tool, you would have to be going incredibly hard with the tool, scraping in a kind of sweeping motion. And this is not how guasha is performed, or it shouldn't be performed like that, because that's not what it is. So the key is know which direction the channels go, and go in that direction. Don't forget to come and visit me at Komorebi Institute. This is the institute where I teach all of my ideas about guasha, and you'll see a link in the description. It's komorebiinstitute.com. And go listen to my podcast, which is now on season 2, and you'll find that on clivewhitham.com. And the podcast is packed full of fascinating topics all about guasha.